Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens part 149 based on novel. So let's start. Xiao Yan was startled when he heard the embarrassed voice of Yun. He looked at the latter's reddened face and said, "I am helping you look at the Do Chi seal within your body." Yun was startled when she heard this. She continued to stare at Xiao Yan somewhat doubtfully. A moment later, her struggling hand finally weakened. A helpless expression also surfaced on Xiao Yan's face when he saw this. His hand was placed on Yun's arm before he shut his eyes. A trace of spiritual strength flowed along his hand and entered the latter's body. Yun sighed gently when Xiao Yan shut his eyes. However, her face still had an embarrassing red color remaining on it. Regardless of what the intention of this fellow was, this place was ultimately a public one. Many disciples and elders from the flower sect were below. Just how it would look like if they saw this. Xiao Yan slowly opened his eyes while Yun was complaining in her heart. At this moment, there was an additional solemnness on his face. The Do Chi seal within Yun's body caused even him to feel shocked. Based on what teacher had said, that Granny Hua should be an elite Dozun whose strength had reached that of an 8 or 9-star Dozun. The Do Chi from her entire lifetime could completely shatter an ordinary Dozun. Xiao Yan's eyes flickered while he mused. Yun's body did indeed possess a vast and mighty Do Chi that caused even him to feel shocked. However, these Do Chi was being completely sealed by an extremely powerful seal. With Yun's strength, she would require quite a long time in order to break the seal and control these vast and mighty Do Chi. That Granny Hua is too cautious. The seal that she has placed is too strong. With your current strength, the rate at which you can refine it can be a little faster. Xiao Yan released Yun's hand, raised his head and said, "You are also aware that the seal is extremely powerful. With my strength, it is impossible for me to break it. All I can do is to absorb those Do Chi that seeped out from the seal. Even though this was the case, my training speed is much faster when compared to the past." Yun knitted her brows and said, "It is safer to refine all of these Do Chi as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you end up meeting a strong person, it is likely that that person might remove the Do Chi seal without due care for your life." Xiao Yan spoke seriously. All of the Do Chi left behind by an 8 or 9-star Dozun was quite a tempting treasure. It was difficult to be certain that some experts would not end up having other wayward thoughts. Yun also nodded slightly when she heard this. She understood that Xiao Yan would not lie to her. However, it was not that she did not wish to speed up the rate of refinement, but she was really unable to do anything to that seal. "Relax, leave the matter of the seal to me. I will resolve this matter before leaving. Otherwise, I will really be unable to be at ease." Xiao Yan smiled involuntarily and said when he saw her expression. An unknown emotion surged up Yun's heart as she observed the smiling young man in front of her. The feeling of having someone to rely on was really good. She had brought Nalan Yangran and roamed all over the place during these years. Although her strength could be considered to be at the top within the Jiunan Empire, it was nothing in this central plains where numerous experts were present. Two ladies who possessed such beauty naturally attracted a lot of attention. Hence, Yun brought Nalan Yangran to join the flower sect. All she sought was some peace. However, she had really never thought about the position of the flower sect's chief. "Thank you." Yun gently inhaled a breath of air. She suppressed the somewhat weak emotion in her heart and whispered. Xiao Yan frowned when he heard this. He stared at the beautiful face and asked, "Is it necessary?" "Huh?" Yun raised her pretty eyes after appearing to hear the displeased tone that Xiao Yan had used. She looked at the frown of the latter before involuntarily smiling. A faint warmth was present in her heart. Xiao Yan felt a little sorry at having caused such a great commotion within the flower sect. He specially apologized to the first elder of the flower sect. Now that the first elder had the intention to befriend Xiao Yan and the Falling Star Pavilion, she would naturally not be concerned about this. Hence, this small matter just passed in this way. The so-called unnatural phenomenon had also gradually faded after the disciples of the flower sect had talked about it for 2 to 3 days. This was also as Xiao Yan desired. He did not wish to be looked at by many strange eyes each time he went out. A faint fragrance lingered within a room that was filled with a pale pink color. At a glance, one would understand that this was likely the room of a certain lady. I will forcefully tear a crack line later on in order to aid your refinement in the future. It might be a little pain. You must endure it. Xiao Yan looked at Yun, who was seated on the soft bed. His thought also shifted from this room that had a pink color before coughing dryly and said. Yun agreed softly. At this moment, her face was still a little red. This was because even until now, she did not know why she would suddenly become hot-headed and bring Xiao Yang to her own room. It was fine just using any room. Yet, she must bring him here. This was especially the case when Xiao Yang displayed a strange expression after just entering this place. It caused her to have the impulse of burying her head into the ground. Xiao Yan laughed dryly when he saw that the tip of Yun's ears were still red. After which, he exhaled a long breath of air. He tossed aside the distracting thoughts and gradually focused his mind. After his mind became focused, Xiao Yang curled his fingers and a wisp of purple-brown flame that contained traces of dense whiteness within it slowly appeared on his finger. This flame was naturally something that was created after having merged the bone-chilling flame with the other flames. Currently, the 4 types of heavenly flames had completely merged together. Both its color and its might had become greater. Moreover, this kind of heavenly flame currently gave one a somewhat unusual feeling. The extremely heat hid a kind of extremely cold force. The difficulty in dealing with it had multiplied by a couple of times. One could imagine the harm it would cause the other party if this kind of unusual force invaded the other party's body when fighting other people. Xiao Yang's expression had become grave when the flame appeared. An instant later, his fingers heavily pressed on Yun's arm in a lightning-like fashion. Kai? Although Xiao Yang did not strengthen the temperature of the flame, the high temperature that the body of the flame contained still burnt the clothes on Yun's back into ashes, revealing her naked jade-like alluring curve. Ah! The coolness that had suddenly appeared on her back also caused Yun to exclaim. Her face reddened immediately. However, a solemn cry that was transmitted from beside her ear caused her to have no choice but to withdraw the ripple within her heart. Focus. Protect your own veins. I am about to break the seal. Yun clenched her silver teeth in the face of this grave cry by Xiao Yan. She forcefully suppressed the fluctuation within her heart and swiftly focused his mind. Xiao Yang's hand, where a flame was lingering on, pointed on Yun's back. That smooth jade-like back immediately revealed a purple-red shot. Waves after waves of hot flames followed this spot and continuously poured into Yun's body. The heavenly flame suddenly invaded in a large-scale fashion. The high temperature also spread, causing Yun to painfully circulate her do-chi in a hurried fashion. It wrapped around every vein. Only then did she feel a little better. Under Xiao Yang's control, the heavenly flame quietly shuttled past the many veins before finally reaching the spot in Yun's body where her do-chi was sealed. He prepared a little before letting out a cry and charged ruthlessly towards the strong seal. Bang! The two collided. Yun's lovely body paused immediately. The do-chi within his body shook intensely at this moment. Waves after waves of intense pain continued to spread from within her body. Xiao Yang's face was grave. The toughness of the seal had exceeded his expectations. With his current strength, it was impossible for him to continue to destroy it. Moreover, if the seal was completely destroyed, the vast and mighty do-chi that surged out would instantly destroy Yun's body. Of course, his aim was not this. All he wanted to do was to cut and form a crack line on the seal. With his current strength and the help of the heavenly flame, it should not be too difficult to achieve it. Bang bang bang. A continuous amount of flame surged into Yun's body. After which, it collided against the tough seal without fearing death. Numerous low and deep sound repeatedly resounded within Yun's body. That intense pain also became increasingly worse. Fortunately, she was aware that this was a critical matter. She clenched her teeth tightly and did not emit any sound. I do not believe that I cannot even form a crack line on you. Xiao Yan frowned slightly after striking at the seal for a long time to no avail. Immediately, he inhaled a deep breath of air. He could already sense that the spot on the seal where he had attacked had begun to fluctuate. Immediately, he clenched his teeth. An unusually dense flame suddenly charged into Yun's body. Immediately, it formed numerous spinning flames as it violently collided onto the seal that was rippling. Bang! The collision this time around was unprecedented. Powerful force spread apart from the point of collision. Grug! The force spread and Yun's face paled almost instantly. A mouthful of fresh blood was spat out. That force was really too powerful. If it was not because she had used the Do Chi to protect her veins earlier, it was likely that even her veins would have been completely broken during this collision. A mouthful of fresh blood was spat out. However, Yun's aura did not weaken as a result. Instead, waves after waves of powerful Do Chi fluctuation suddenly surged from within her body. The strength of that fluctuation was such that it even forced back Xiao Yan's finger, which was in contact with Yun's fingers. What powerful Do Chi! A surprise flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes when his finger was forced away. Yun's shut eyes were suddenly opened as she sat on the bed. Powerful Do Chi erupted out as though they were real substance. The table a short distance in front emitted a crack sound before shattering into dust. The seal had been broken. A joy surfaced on Yun's face when she saw this scene. She suddenly raised her head. Her eyes looked towards Xiao Yan, only to find that the latter was staring at her with a strange expression. Yun was startled when she saw this gaze of Xiao Yan. Immediately, she lowered her head slightly. Her face became fiery hot almost instantly. This was because the clothes on her body had completely burst apart due to the eruption of her Do Chi earlier. At that moment, a naked beautiful body sat enchantingly within the room. An exclamation was emitted from Yun's mouth while her face turned completely red. Immediately, her hand was waved suddenly. Wind danced and the soft blanket on the bed flew up before completely wrapping around the alluring body. Yun's expression only became a little better after her lovely body was hidden within the blanket. She lifted her pretty face and stared at Xiao Yan with embarrassment and anger. She demanded, "Why are you still watching?" Although she was currently covered by a blanket, the blanket was quite thin. When it covered over Yun's lovely body, it still ended up revealing an alluring curve. After being set off by the bright red face that was filled with shyness, the scene was sufficient to cause quite a number of men to bleed wildly from their nostrils. Cough. Xiao Yan coughed dryly. He withdrew his eyes in an extremely calm manner and said, "This has nothing to do with me. You are the one who blasted it apart." Hearing these words of Xiao Yan, Yun involuntarily felt speechless and furious despite usually being calm. This brat was actually someone who proclaimed innocence despite having taken advantage of her. Xiao Yan did not dare to be overly entangled over this topic when he saw Yun was showing signs of becoming mad. He hurriedly asked, "How do you feel now?" "All right. A crack line has been torn on the seal by you. Currently, there's quite a lot of Do Chi continuously flowing out from the seal. This speed is coincidentally within the boundary that I can refine." Yun snapped. However, the redness on her face gradually faded. "Yes, that's fine," Xiao Yan nodded slightly. He voiced his thoughts, "The Do Chi that is left behind by that granny Hua is really too frightening. If you can completely refine it, you might be able to reach the height of hers when she was alive. Moreover, you are still young. There is a great amount of room for you to improve. Should you end up gaining some great opportunity in the future, it is not impossible for you to even reach the Doshan class." Doshan. Yun was involuntarily startled when she heard this legendary height. Immediately, she shook her head helplessly. That matter was too far away. Being able to leap to the Doshan class during these years was already a great blessing that the heavens had given her. As for whatever Doshan, she had really never thought about it. I have quite a number of enemies in the Central Plains. Moreover, each of them are extremely fierce. Ha ha, if you become an elite Doshing in the future, I can take shelter under this big tree of yours. Xiao Yan joked. Yun looked at the young face, which was covered with a warm smile, in a stunned manner when she heard Xiao Yan's joke. She was a little quiet and felt a heartache. Everyone could only see his glory and achievement on the surface. However, they forget just how much hard work and effort he had put in to reach this level. When she first met Xiao Yan back then, this youth, who appeared tender but a little stubborn, dared to train within the dangerous magical beast mountain range. After all the storm all these years, the danger that he had experienced was also countless number of times greater than that at the magical beast mountain range back then. I will refine Granny Hua's Do Chi as soon as possible, and I'll also spend effort to slowly control the flower sect. Yun's entire body appeared to have shrunk under the thin blanket as his soft voice was emitted. Xiao Yan was startled when he heard these somewhat baffling words of Yun. He watched the pretty face and finally appeared to have understood something. He was momentarily speechless. A favor from a beauty was something that was most difficult to accept. The atmosphere within the room had suddenly become a little enchanting. A moment later, Xiao Yan let out a dry cough and broke the silence. After which, he took out a jade bottle from within the storage ring. Some purple-brown danwans were stored within the jade bottle. An extremely hot energy was vaguely emitted from the medicinal bottle. These are flame-leaving pills that I have refined. Each of them contained a trace of strength from a heavenly flame. You can consume one when you refine the Do Chi of the seal in the future. It will aid you in increasing the speed of refinement. At the same time, it will also allow your Do Chi to be refined until it is extremely pure. Xiao Yan placed the jade bottle gently on the bed and smilingly spoke to Yun. Yes. Yun received the jade bottle and nodded with a slight smile. I will leave tomorrow. If you end up meeting some trouble that you cannot resolve in the future, you can come to the Falling Star Pavilion to look for me. You are leaving tomorrow, huh? Yun said. The hand which she used to hold the jade bottle tightened a little when she heard this. I cannot remain here for too long. Otherwise, I'm afraid that I might end up attracting the experts from the Hall of Soul. At that time, I would end up implicating the flower sect. Xiao Yan spoke seriously. Yun was not someone who failed to see the larger picture. Although she felt some dismay in her heart, she still ended up nodding. She softly said, Yes, you should be careful. Xiao Yan smiled and nodded. He once again gave Yun some instruction before turning around and left this lady's room, where a fragrance lingered. Yun's silver teeth bit her red lips as she watched Xiao Yan's back, which was leaving. She softly muttered, It has been so many years, but I'm still unable to get rid of this little enemy. Since I am unable to escape, I shall put in the effort again for you. Originally, Yun was not really interested in increasing her strength. All she wanted to do was to find a quiet place to pass the rest of her life when she came to the Central Plains. However, who could have expected that even though this was the case, that person, who was buried deep within her heart, would once again appear in front of her. Only when she met him again did she realize that it was impossible for this feeling to be forgotten with the flow of time. Instead, it would be brewed by time until it became increasingly mellow. She would not say anything regarding such a feeling. All that she wanted was to remain behind him and quietly providing him some help. This was because Yun was aware that Xiao Yan was carrying too much on his back. He was also too tired. She wanted to help share a little of his burden. After having resolved the problem of the seal for Yun, Xiao Yan continued to remain within the flower sect for one day. After which, he led Qinglin and Yun to bid farewell to the first elder of the flower sect. The first elder of the flower sect felt a little regretful with regards of Xiao Yan's swift departure. She wanted to get him to stay, but seeing that Xiao Yan had made up his mind, it was inappropriate for her to stop him. All she could do was to allow the two to leave. After saying his goodbye, Xiao Yan and Qinglin directly left the flower sect. After which, the latter summoned the 9 serene deep-ground python and once again hurried towards the Falling Star Pavilion. Cloud was absent in the azure sky within thousands of kilometers. Suddenly, an enormous black figure rushed past the distant sky with lightning-like speed. A deafening rushing wind sound rumbled continuously in the sky, attracting quite a number of gazes. This rapidly moving enormous black figure was naturally Xiao Yan and Qinglin, who had left the flower sect for about 2 days. Both of them were basically traveling during these 2 days and did not take many breaks along the way. Although using the 9 serene deep ground python to travel was a little eye-catching, it would seldom attract any trouble. This was because everyone knew of the strength of the 9 serene deep ground python, which was one of the 3 great tribes in the magical beast world. Unless there was some special circumstances, otherwise no one would easily offend them. Young Master Xiao Yang, we have basically left the territory of the flower sect's influence. In another few days, we should be able to reach the Falling Star Pavilion. Qinglin's eyes swept in all directions while standing on the enormous body of the 9 serene deep ground python. After which, she turned her head and spoke to Xiao Yang, who was seated behind her. Understood. Xiao Yang nodded slightly. His hand rubbed the 9 serene deep ground python under him, and the image of a 7-colored huge heaven-swallowing python flashed across his mind. Cai Lin. I wonder if your womb really possessed the bloodline of the Xiao clan. A complicated expression flashed across Xiao Yang's eyes when he thought about Cai Lin. He wondered how this Queen Medusa, who had once chased after him until he was forced to flee, was. With her strength, it was likely that she would have few opponents who could match her in that region, right? Young Master Xiao Yang. The pretty face of Qinglin by the side changed a little while Xiao Yang had sunk into his memory. She softly cried out. What is it? Xiao Yang was pulled back from his thoughts by the cry. He was startled as he asked. Something seems to be wrong, Qinglin softly replied. Xiao Yan's eyes immediately narrowed when he heard this. His gaze slowly swept around him. At this moment, they were in the sky above a sparsely populated mountain range. However, it was surprising that there was actually not the slightest magical beast roar in this mountain range. It was as though the place was a death region. Xiao Yang slowly stood up. He got Qinglin to halt the 9 serene deep ground python. After which, his eyes paused on an empty space a short distance in front. He spoke faintly, since you have come, why are you hiding yourself? Don't you agree? Yao Huoliangjian. Brat, your perception is quite good. The space in front became distorted after Xiao Yang's word sounded. Immediately, a couple of figures appeared from nowhere. At the same time, a vast and mighty aura also spread over from all directions. There were a total of 4 people who had appeared. Amongst them was Yao Huoliangjian, who had suffered a blow from the annihilation fire lotus of Xiao Yang back then. The other 3 were all expressionless elders in grey robes. The auras of these 3 people were not any weaker than Yao Huoliangjian. Looking at the badge on their chest, they were surprisingly all from the Profound Sky sect. Xiao Yang, you have ruined an important matter of my Profound Sky sect. Do you really think you can just leave like this? Do you think that my Profound Sky sect do not dare to do anything to you just because Yao Chen had advanced to a Bansheng? Yao Huoliangjian gently flapped the foldable fan in his hand. The smile on his face contained a dense emotion. Xiao Yang glanced at this fellow and spoke indifferently. You are able to wait for so long, I think that someone has informed you, right? For example, Hua Jin of the Flower Sect? Xiao Yang's eyes turned towards the forest below after his voice sounded. A figure had appeared from that spot. It was Hua Jin from the Flower Sect. At this moment, the latter was staring at him with a face filled with murderous intent. She coldly laughed, You have ruined a big matter of this chief. Today, you shall use your life as compensation. As for that slut Yun Yun, this chief will finish her off sooner or later. Xiao Yang, just surrender and return with the old me to the Profound Sky sect. On the account of Yao Chen's face, my Profound Sky sect will treat you well. Otherwise? That grey-robed elder, who was the leader, opened his mouth faintly at this moment. A dense killing intent had suddenly surged in his last sentence. Otherwise, this place shall be where your bones will be buried today. Dense bone-chilling killing desire spread across the entire place. It was as though the air had solidified at this moment. The originally deathly quiet air above the forest had become just like winter, emitting an icy coldness that chilled one's heart. Xiao Yan stood on the large body of the 9 serene deep ground python. He looked at Yao Hualiangjun for men group in the distance. After which, he glanced at Hua Jin below, who was looking at him with ill intent. For 6-star Dozuns. The ferocious reputation of the profound sky sect was really not earned in vain. Young Master Xiao Yang, what should we do? Qing Lin frowned slightly and asked because of this sudden situation. What else can we do? The profound sky sect has actually dispatched such a great force. I think that they are intending on capturing me. Xiao Yang smiled faintly. A bone-chilling coldness surged within his dark black eyes as he softly said, however, with just the 4 of you, you have really underestimated me quite greatly. Your tone is indeed quite arrogant. The strength of that fire lotus of yours might be great, but if the 4 of us join hands, we will be able to forcefully resist it. Without that kind of fire lotus attack, what can you be in the eyes of the 4 of us? Yao Hualiangjun laughed coldly. An arc was slowly lifted on Xiao Yang's face when he heard this. His hand seal changed before they suddenly stilled. Vast and mighty aura suddenly surged out from within Xiao Yang's body in all directions like a volcano. What you describe is the case 1 month ago. Majestic aura spread across the sky. Waves after waves of heat was quietly formed, causing the air of this place to swiftly become dry. For Star Dozun? Yao Hualiangjun's expression changed slightly when he sensed this aura of Xiao Yang. Although he had already obtained word of this from Hua Jin, the shock in his heart was still quite great now that he had seen it with his own eyes. Within a short 1 month, Xiao Yang's strength had rose by 2 stars. This training speed could be described by the word frightening. It should be known that if an ordinary Dozun was to train normally, it was likely that he would need to cultivate a decade or longer in order to obtain such an increase in his strength. Yet, this amount of time had been forcefully shrunk by many times in Xiao Yang's hands. The Qi method that this brat practices is a little strange. If we capture him this time around, we can force him to tell me about the Qi method. If I can obtain such a Qi method, my achievements in the future will definitely be quite great. Even within the profound sky sect, there will be hardly anyone who can contend against me. Yao Hualiangjun's eyes flickered slightly. A greed flashed across his eyes. A mere 4-star Dozun. You still do not possess the qualification to do as you please in the hands of the 4 of us. That grey-robed elder, who was leading the group, glanced at Xiao Yang with an indifferent gaze. He appeared a little impatient when he spoke until this point. He waved his sleeve and said, "This is the final time. Are you going to leave with us or shall we beat you half to death and bring you with us? This skin of mine is a little thick. I shall choose the latter." Xiao Yang smilingly said. "You may." The expression of the grey-cloaked elder was dark and dense. He nodded slowly before he suddenly stepped forward and spoke in a deep voice, "This brat is extremely cunning. Attack together and capture him first." "I?" Yao Hualiangjun and the 2 others nodded when they heard this. The former still had a deep memory of that fire lotus attack of Xiao Yang even until now. If he was alone, he would really not have the guts to attack. With the destructive force of that fire lotus, it was likely that he would lose his life immediately should he be careless. "Young Master Xiao Yang, I will block one of them. That slut below shall be dealt with by the 9 serene deep ground python." A solemnness surfaced on Qing Lin's face when she saw the other party beginning to act. This time around, the other party had come prepared. For 6-star elite Dozuns. This kind of lineup was really quite strong. They were few in numbers. Should they be careless, it was likely that they would really end up dying in the most unexpected place today. After her voice sounded, a green light flashed within her jade-green eyes. Over a dozen figures surfaced in the sky in an orderly manner. Immediately, they rushed towards Hua Jin under Qing Lin's orders. This large group of human figures that had suddenly appeared and rushed over also gave Hua Jin a shock. However, after sensing that the strongest of this group was merely a 2-star Dozun, she finally sighed in relief. She spoke in disdain, "You actually dare to take out some lowly creatures to embarrass yourself? Qinglin could not be bothered with Hua Jin's words. After having released all the experts that were sealed in her eyes, her face also became grave. Both of her hands formed numerous seals in a lightning-like fashion. Following the change in her seals, a fierce aura from the ancient times also slowly surged out from within her body. Upon sensing the ferocious aura that spread from within Qinglin's body, Xiao Yan understood that she had already begun to use the spiritual strength of the ancient heaven serpent. Immediately, he waved his hand. 11 puppets appeared in a flash. Within the blink of an eye, it had formed a formation. Energy was transferred and it swiftly caused the dark gold color on the sky demon puppet to become increasingly deep. With Xiao Yang's current strength, he should be able to fight against 2 6-star Dozan after using the Skyfire 3 mysterious change. Qinglin was currently only able to restrain one person. However, the other party still possessed 3 6-star Dozan. Hence, he could only summon the Sky Demon Puppet and temporarily fight. Although the Sky Demon Puppet could barely be able to fight with a 6-star Dozan with its strength, it should still be able to delay time. During the time that Xiao Yang summoned the Sky Demon Puppet, the ferocious aura of Qinglin by the side also became increasingly rich. Fortunately, both of her eyes still retained their clarity. Clearly, with her current strength, she was already able to begin controlling the ancient heaven serpent's soul. Young Master Xiao Yang, I will attack first. Qinglin's body rushed out in a lightning-like fashion after her soft cry sounded. That ferociousness that permeated the sky also caused Yao Hua Liangjuan's From Men group to have a change in expression. It is unexpected that this little girl is also troublesome to deal with, fourth brother, I'll leave it to you. That leading grey-robed elder glanced at Qinglin, who was rushing over, with some surprise before he frowned and said, no problem. A somewhat skinny old man nodded with a shady face. Immediately, his body moved and he appeared in front of Qinglin. He did not say anything else as his dark and cold Do Chi surged out from his palm. After which, it ruthlessly slammed towards Qinglin. Humph! Qinglin let out a cold snort when she saw this skinny old man attacking. She did not give in. Green light lingered within her jade-green eyes as she directly moved forward to meet him. Xiao Yang, I really want to see whether you can escape from the palm of my profound sky sect today. Remember the name of this elderly self, Shenlu Guizuan. The eyes of the grey-robed old man were dense and cold. He led Yao Hua Liangjian and the other expert from the profound sky sect and formed a ring shape, surrounding Xiao Yang in the process. Attack! The moment Xiao Yang was surrounded, that so-called Shenluo Guizuan's eyes revealed a ferocious expression. A cold cry sounded. 3 vast and mighty Do Chi surged out immediately. The 3 figures rushed over towards Xiao Yang with lightning-like speed. That ferocious attack directly caused the entire space to solidify. Go! Xiao Yang's back shook. That green-red bone wings were extended from it. His body swiftly pulled back. With a flick of his finger, that sky demon puppet transformed into a golden light that blocked one of the experts from the profound sky sect. Skyfire 3 mysterious change. First change. Second change. Third change. The seals formed by Xiao Yang's hands changed as his body pulled back explosively. The Do Chi over his body continued to soar in that instant. Within a short moment, it had broken the 4-star level. A moment later, the strength of his aura was no longer inferior to that of Yao Hua Liangjian. The Skyfire 3 mysterious change of the Burning Flame Valley. Shenluo Guizuan frowned when he saw Xiao Yang's aura soaring. He immediately laughed coldly, do not hold back. The Skyfire 3 mysterious change has a time limit. When the time's up, he will be unable to escape today. Understood. Yao Hua Liangjuan's expression was dense and cold as he nodded. The foldable fan in his hand emitted a faint unusual glow. His hand was raised before the fan fell. That foldable fan appeared to become extremely sharp blades that tore through the space and cut towards Xiao Yang's throat. Faced with Yao Hua Liangjian's swift and ferocious attack, Xiao Yang merely tilted his head a little and narrowly dodged that sharp foldable fan. His right hand was clenched into a fist before ruthlessly smashing furiously onto Yao Hua Liangjuan's head. Humph! Yao Liangjian naturally did not dare to underestimate Xiao Yan's current strength. After having used the Skyfire 3 mysterious change, Xiao Yan's strength was not any inferior to him. Adding the might of the heavenly flame, there was even a sign of it having surpassed him in a head-on battle. Bang! A cautious thought flashed across Yao Liangjian's heart. He flipped his wrist and the foldable fan in his hand was completely opened with a ripping sound. After which, it blocked in front of him and forcefully received this punch by Xiao Yan. The punch landed on the foldable fan. That purple-brown flame that contained a dense whiteness suddenly surged out from Xiao Yan's palm. After which, it lingered over the foldable fan in a ferocious manner and swiftly spread over Yao Liangjian's body. The flame spread and the sleeve of Yao Liangjian turned into ashes in an instant. However, his reaction was also quite quick. When the flame spread over, his vast and mighty Do Qi erupted from within his body and surged explosively towards the flame with the intention of extinguishing all of them. However, a strange scene appeared when the Do Qi touched the flame. One could see that those Do Qi that came into contact with the flame would turn into substance like ice crystals in an instant. Hence, within a short moment, Yao Liangjian's arm was covered by a thick layer of ice crystal in front of his shocked eyes. What a strange heavenly flame! This unexpected change caused Yao Liangjian's expression to change drastically. His body pulled back hurriedly. Compared to a month ago, the heavenly flame of Xiao Yang seemed to have become even more powerful and mysterious. Xiao Yang was just about to give chase after having forced back Yao Liangjian with one attack when an elderly figure flashed and appeared in front of him. His shady face contained traces of dense coldness. A dark black large hand directly penetrated through the space like a ghost claw, carrying a kind of dangerous feeling as it grabbed towards Xiao Yang's head with lightning-like speed. Try and receive a 9 hell hand from this old me. This video will end here.